Hello everyone and welcome back to another Babbling Irons video, and it is officially the start of the Premier League season for us. A trip down to the south coast against Bournemouth, a 4-0 win against them last year towards the back end of the season, so anything of a similar nature would be fantastic, but with a lot of stuff going on right now, it's hard to see that happening, and still uncertain about what players are even going to play, with a lot of controversy over their futures at the football club. So let's get straight into it. Bournemouth have actually been the opposite to us. They've made quite a lot of signings this summer, as you can kind of see on the screen here. You know, most recently, Alex Scott, a player we've absolutely admired on this channel. They got him over the line for 25 million. Max Aarons from Norwich for 7. Favor from Lyon. Cliver, another very good player. Traore and Kirkes at the left back. We also wanted to get from AZ Alkmaar, who really impressed us in the two legs last season in the Conference League when we played them. So they've definitely made some really good signings. They're trying to head towards a similar model that we wanted to try to deploy at West Ham with the younger players, but whether that's going to be enough for them, I don't know. They've obviously got rid of Gary O'Neill now, who's actually at Wolves, so they're trying to go into a bit more of a positive direction and progress from where they finished last season, because most people expected them to get relegated. So survival was the main thing for them. They've managed to do that, and now it's just a matter of kicking on to see if they can push themselves higher up the table. But in terms of West Ham, that's going to be the focus, because it's the first game week. There's not too much to analyze from Bournemouth's side. It's kind of going to be West Ham focused this preview, and there's a lot going on. Obviously, the future of Lucas Paqueta is still very much in the air. It looks like he wants to leave for Man City. So whether they're going to bid for him, we don't know. They probably will. Now Kevin De Bruyne has picked up that injury, so they may be forced to play their hand a little bit more. But it'll be interesting to see what his headspace is like right now, and whether he's actually going to want to play against Bournemouth, because he's risking himself getting injured, but at the same time, he's contracted to West Ham at the end of the day. You know, he should be playing for us if that's what the manager wants, and he absolutely should, because if he doesn't play, that midfield's looking a little bit more ropey again, because Moyes confirmed in his press conference that although Alvarez is now signed, he hasn't trained, he's not match fit, and he's not going to be ready for this match. So the midfield's going to be the same as before signing Alvarez. Ward-Prowse is actually very close to completing his deal, but wasn't done in time. So he'll probably be ready for next week as well. So then you're left with Downs and Souček, really, whether he wants to drop Fornals into midfield, which we don't think he will. So yeah, it's going to be tough to see how Moyes lines up. He also mentioned about Jared Bowen potentially being converted into a striker. Not sure how much I like that one. I guess it would depend on the system we're playing. And I think he's just looking at someone that can run the channels a little bit more than, say, like a Danny Ings, if we are going to play that 4-3-3. And he also has the flexibility of going striker if we switch to a back three and go 2 up top. So, yeah, it's an interesting one, because Antonio, he's obviously come out recently with comments saying, at the moment I'm contracted to the club I'm at, which is really strange. So I think he's waiting for that big money move or that move elsewhere. Reports that Wolves are interested in him. I'm not sure they're going to have the funds to buy him and Cresswell. But there is, rumours of Saudi teams maybe going in for Antonio soon. So what's his headspace like? And does he even really want to play for the club? Doesn't look like it. So I would actually prefer us to play Danny Ings over Antonio if that's the option for this week, because Antonio hasn't really had that much of a pre-season because he was away with Jamaica, and Danny Ings has looked a lot sharper in pre-season and looks like he actually wants to play. So that's how I would do it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Would you start Antonio if he's in the squad, or would you go with someone else? We're going to get into the predicted XI shortly, but yeah, Moyes is tampered with the idea of going to a back three, or he might go with his traditional 4. I think it will be a back 4. I don't think we saw enough of the back three in pre-season. But really, our pre-season wasn't that great, to be honest. We got a couple of good results, but the performances by and large weren't amazing. A lot of the time it is fitness related, so don't take too much into the season, but there was room for concern going into this match. And, Bournemouth, on the other hand, just beat Lorient, a really good, French team from last season. And, they're going to be confident going into this one with the signings they've made and being at home. So it's not going to be an easy game at all. And obviously after this, we've got Chelsea at home, so it doesn't get any easier for us. So it's really important we start the season right. I don't know the last time we really kicked on. We have played Bournemouth in our first home game before at the London Stadium, and we beat them 1-0. Our record against Bournemouth is actually pretty good, by and large, since they've been back in the Premier League. So there's also that to factor in. But yeah, by and large, it's going to be very difficult for us to win this game with what we've got going on. And, we still didn't replace Declan Rice in time for this match. So we're kind of down on our squad. And, like the likes of Paqueta might not even play if he's not in the right, headspace. Antonio, another one that doesn't look like he's going to be starting or is particularly interested in playing right now. So how do we line up? I mean, it's going to be interesting, but this is how we kind of see it. So you got Fabianski in goal down there. I don't think Areola did enough to impress Moyes in pre-season, and I don't think he'll be switching anytime soon for the Premier League. And then the back four, it kind of picks itself at the moment if everyone's fit. You've got Emerson, Aged, Zuma, Kufau. He could put Kera right back, but not too sure about that one. I think Kufau's the better option. And yeah, I mean, he did play Ogbonna in the pre-season match, but we can see that Ogbonna's legs has just gone. So that's definitely not going to happen in a back four. And then Cresswell's going to Wolves. So that leaves us with one left back, really, and Emerson. And then you move on to the midfield. You've got Downs, Paqueta, Souček. Whether Paqueta will play, I don't know. If he doesn't, then I would suspect that Fornals will come into the middle, or he might switch to a back five. Whether he trusts Fornals in that 8 position remains to be seen. But if he is going to take out Paqueta, I think it would be for Fornals at this stage. But I'm hoping that's not the case. And yeah, the front three, you've got Benrahma and Bowen. They seem to be kind of the nailed down wingers at the moment. And then it really just leaves the striker spot with Danny Ings. So there is rumours that people could be suggesting that Mubama gets a start after he started in the last pre-season match, but I just don't think he looks that ready at the moment. And Danny Ings arguably deserves it after his pre-season form, and he looks a little bit more sharper. Although Mubama did get a couple of goals, I think we know Moyes probably wouldn't go with Mubama in this situation. And yeah, Danny Ings is probably likely to start this one. Now Skamaka's gone as well, so. Yeah, it's going to be tough game. It's never easy when you go to these kind of teams on the first game of the season. It does make a change from playing one of the big teams. I think last season it was Man City, and we've played Arsenal, Liverpool in recent years. So I guess we don't really have too many excuses. This is probably one of the better fixtures we could have got. So other than it being away from home, we don't really have any arguments. We have to make sure that we're on it. And yeah, the captaincy thing, I predicted Thomas Souček to be captain, but that's still up in the air at the moment. That's still another negative going into the season, that we don't even have a club captain announced. We saw Aged take the armband, Ogbonna and Souček, maybe even Fabianski. But yeah, Souček will probably take it. I'll be surprised if it's anyone else at this stage. And yeah, I think Souček, it was coming out that he's just signed a new 4-year deal. So whether that will be truthful or not, we'll see. But that could be another hint that he is going to be captain until someone like Ward-Prowse or Maguire does come into the team. So, yeah, tough game. Tough one to predict because it's the first game week, but it's really important that we get off to a winning start with the fixtures that we've got coming up. And it will just bring a boost around the place. There's been a lot of negativity over the summer transfer window with all of the pending incomings that haven't happened, the outgoings that are happening. So it's really important that we win this game and, get 3 points off onto the board from the start and just relieve a little bit of pressure around the football club. And, if we do get that win, we can then have the next week fully focused on those transfer targets again with less panic setting in. If we lose this game, might add a little bit more panic to the internal teams. And yeah, we don't want that. That's the one thing we don't want right now is more panic. But give me your predictions in the comments. What do you think the score is going to be? 3 p.m. kickoff. Not going to have many of those this season with European football on a Saturday, so make the most of it. And yeah, our Bournemouth record is pretty good, so it's tough to predict this one. But I think based on the fact that we've still got a decent enough squad to win this game, and it is the first game of the season, it's really tough to see where the players are going to be at in comparison to Bournemouth and how they're kind of shaping up after their pre-season. But I'm going to go with a 2-1 win. I think we'll still have enough. I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet because we just don't keep clean sheets. That's just kind of a fact at the moment. So I'll be very surprised if we do. But we've definitely got goals in us and we've got options off the bench should we need it. Cornet, another option. Fornals, another mention. even Mubama and Antonio. You know, we've definitely got options on that bench to change the match if we need to. So I'm just hoping we've got enough defensively to limit them to maybe 1 goal, and we should maybe get 2 or 3. But I'm going to go with 2-1. Hopefully we start off with a winning match, and yeah, we can push on next week in the summer transfer window and maybe make another couple signings before that Chelsea game. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. Are you confident? And yeah, give me your score predictions. That's all going to be all for today. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel as always. And yeah, hopefully we get the win. And until next time, come on, you irons.